Hi everybody, this is your presenter Kelly Stair, author of VoiceThread for Digital Education. You can find my published work at www.angrybunnypublishing.com, or you can send me an email at kellystair2013@gmail.com if you're interested in having me present at your school. This is a webinar on creating online anthologies. Okay, here's some of the benefits of having your anthologies online. First off, you get the choice of materials. So any material that is a website, an audio file, a video, anything that you can find online can go into an online anthology. And so you're not limited to the choice of materials that you can have. You can choose anything. You also get to choose which order the materials go in. And so you can put things in whatever order makes sense for you so that students can follow it in the order that you set it out to be. The types of materials, you have all kinds of multimedia options. So in addition to choosing which ones go in there, you have the option of what kind of materials go in there. It is 100% paper free, which is heavenly, which means that it's weightless, so students can carry it around in their cell phones. It's accessible anywhere. New materials are very easily added, just a click and an upload, and all of a sudden your new materials are on there. You can add links to materials, and those links are not subject to copyright, and so you don't have to worry about having copyright issues because you're just creating links to materials, and then the links go to those other websites, so there's no copyright issues with that. Students can help create anthologies with relevant resources, which means that you can help, or students can help you build the anthologies that you will be using. And so you can say, we're looking for multimedia pieces that do this or that show this, and then students can help generate those anthologies, and so it makes it very relevant for them. Here's a quick anthology demo with using live binders. And I'm just going to show you very quickly a copy of an anthology that I used for my American Literature class the first semester. One thing that you need to know, this isn't the complete anthology. I actually had to strip it down a little bit because I didn't have permission from my students to share in this particular way. They gave me permission verbally to share with future students, but not in this way. So I stripped it down a little bit. Basically, here's what a live binder looks like and how you can organize your sources. So you have main tabs, and then you have sub-tabs for each main tab. This is the general information. I use information that, or websites that give information. So I've got sites here that show logical fallacies. I've got an online copy of the syllabus so that students can see the syllabus whenever they need to. Doesn't seem to be popping up. I've got the blog site that we use to create our blogs there. I've got a calendar of events. That one also won't pop up because it's old. I've got an activity for students to do. Sorry. I've got this activity that shows it links to a website, and then it links to a website, and then students can do this. This is all pre-stuff, the general information. We've got our essential questions for the unit, and then a little website on MLA documentation in case they need to know that. Then I set up the rest of the anthology to include pieces from the 3 things that we're working on. So this kind of is my whole source. Now, students also have a textbook in class that we read from, but I never make them take it home. And they will also have novels that they will read in class. And then I include, for example, in Theme 1, I'll include links to those novels. And so students can use the links to those novels as well and get their information that way. So as you can see, when we go to Theme 1, I have the unit essential questions that students will be looking at throughout the whole unit. And then I've got an ebook or their mobile copy of the Scarlet Letter. Now, sometimes this will pop up. All you have to do is click on the website and it will go directly to the site that you're looking for. I'm going to close that out. I've got another copy of the Scarlet Letter online through a different source. So sometimes students like one way of looking at it better than another, so they can go through there. And this is the whole Scarlet Letter online. There we go. I've got their tech tool, Scribble, and then I've got um, a document for how to annotate a text for close reading. And so I have all of the tools that they need to do this unit online. Now, there are also tools and resources that I would include, such as short stories or short videos or websites that would help them understand the background of the Scarlet Letter, um, and all of these different sites that I can add into my online anthology that will help students to really access information in a mobile way. And so that's just an example of what you can do with your live binder and creating those anthologies. Okay, so here's some things to consider when you're putting your anthology together. And on the next slide, I'll actually give you a demo of how to do live binders and how to set that up. But here's some things to consider before you get started. What do you want your layout to be? As you saw on mine, I had the entire semester laid out with a general tab and then the 3 unit themes. But that's because I didn't have a lot of resources. If I had a lot of resources, I might want to have a separate live binder for each of those. And you can create a shelf that students can get to, and they can pull all of your resources off of it. And so if you have a lot of resources, you might consider putting them into separate live binders per unit. You also want to consider how to label your tabs and your subtabs. The tabs are the ones across the top, those are your general folders, and then the subtabs are the folders underneath. Each subtab can have one resource in it. And so you want to decide how you want to organize those before you actually get started, because it's not easy to move things around once you have your subtabs in there. You also want to think about having some general how-to activities that will familiarize students with the layout, particularly if they haven't used live binders before. Now in your 3rd unit, you probably don't need to do that, but for the first one, the first time students will be using live binders, they need to see how it's set up and how to move things or how to access things and what order you want them to go in. And so you really want to do some activities with that that will help them see the layout. You definitely want to demonstrate for students how to use your live binder, your specific live binder, not live binders in general. And you want to give the students a chance to practice that before they get graded on it. You also want to decide how many resources you want to include. And then the activities that go with those resources. Those activities need clear, concise descriptions of what students need to do. Remember, just throwing a bunch of resources in there and saying, hey, take a look at these, isn't a good activity. It's not the resource that's important, it's the activity that goes with it that makes students think about those resources. That's the important part. So make sure that you have great activities for all of your resources. And if you don't have a great activity to go with it, maybe it doesn't belong there. Finally, keep it simple. Don't make it too complex or complicated or lots of different things going on. Try to keep it as simple as possible. The more complicated it is, the more directions you need, and the easier those directions are to understand if you do something like a screencast, such as this at the beginning. Okay, now I want to give you a quick demo of the Live Binder site and how to set up your own Live Binder. Okay, so first thing you want to sign up, and it asks you for some basic information. Okay, I'm actually going to log in since I already have a login. But sign up is not difficult. Basically, you just need an email address. And I'm signed in, so I go to My Binders. Okay, and I just showed you this demo. When I want to create a binder, I click Start a Blank Binder. And I want to name it. I'll call it Demo Number 1. And I need a description. This is a demonstration binder. You can add tags in there if you want people to be able to search through your sources. And then you pick a category. Education is the one that I use. By default, all binders are private, so only you and the people you choose can view your binder. If you want to leave it private, you can do that, but then you'll have to give students an access key. So you create an access key to get to the binder. Or you can make it public, and then everybody can view your binder. Okay, I'm going to make this one public just so that people can see it if they would want to. Okay, so create a new binder. I've got 3 tabs across the front to start me off, and I want to make sure I name them. Now each tab can have a URL associated with it. So maybe I'll say tab 1 is, reading resources. Okay, and then if I don't want anything for that, I can just leave it there. Then when I click, it gives me the option to add a new tab, add a sub-tab, or do these other things. So I want to add a new sub-tab. So under reading resources, I want to find a reading resource tab. All right, and so I would go to, I'm just going to really quickly open up Google and reading resources. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the first one because I just want to find some sites that I can put in there. And let's say I want to put this one in. I just copy URL, and then here, I think it was A to Z, wasn't really paying attention, and then paste the URL there, go to insert, oh, ABC stuff, my bad, insert, okay, and for some reason it wanted to take me directly to it. That's nice. Okay, and so I got that there. I can add a new subtab either by clicking here and adding a subtab, or by clicking reading resources and adding a new subtab. And I can add as many of them across as I want. Okay. I can also set, as you can see, I can also set the tab color and all kinds of different things with that. Go back up here. Let me show you some of the things. You add as many resources as you want, as many tabs, as many subtabs, however you decide to organize it. It's good to go in with a game plan. Then you can also add different kinds of content. So you can add the link, and there's enough one. You can actually upload files. Okay, and that's where I got that Word document that was up there. I uploaded it as a file. You can add other content. Okay, you can also set your text layout, and this is really cool. So instead of just the default, which is all the media, you can do a title with the media, you can do text with the media, and so I'm going to show you that one. So here's the website that I just added on there. I can put my title here, and then I can also add text, and this is great because if you want to share your binders, then people can comment right in here. And as you can see, it looks just like a blog post. So you can add text, you can add a Word document, you can insert an image, you can add hyperlinks, you can do all kinds of stuff with this piece of text. So it's not a stagnant text, it's a very interactive piece of text. And so I add my text here. Wow, my site is there. Oops, sorry, bad typing. So let's say that I wanted to add something here. I could add a picture, I can add a hyperlink, I can add all kinds of new stuff. I'm going to cancel that. And so this is how you set up your binders. If you want a more complicated binder, you can add a website here, and then over here you can put your directions, like look through this website and find 3 examples that demonstrate whatever. And so you can create your anthologies so that you have directions on one side and the website or the video or the whatever media piece right here on the side. And so your directions and the media piece. And then students can actually fill those in or create new Word documents to demonstrate that they've done the activity that you want them to do. It's completely up to you how you want to organize it. I'm going to show you one last thing, and then we'll be done. Once we save it, okay, and then we go back to My Binders, and it'll be the first one that pops up, okay, because that's the most recently looked at one. What you can also do is you can start a shelf, okay, and if you start a shelf, I'm going to call it Demos, description, my demo shelf, and tags public, private, make it public just to make it easier, and then create new shelf. And so now I have this shelf that's called demos. Okay, and if I go to my shelves, down here, my shelves, and I've got, oh, it hasn't popped up yet, sorry, shelf created, demos, awesome. There it is. Okay, so once I've got that, then I can go to my binders and I can add things to these shelves. So there it is. There's the demo shelf. So if I want to add this, oops, sorry, my bad. If I want to add this to the shelf, to options, I can share it. I can add it to a shelf. Okay, so if I want to add it to my demo shelf, I click demos, and then this is on that shelf. So if, for example, you were going to create 5 live binders, one for each unit that you were doing in a semester, for your class, instead of giving them each of the live binders separately, you can give them access to a shelf. And all of your binders will go directly to that shelf. The great thing about it is that your binders are instantaneously changed as you change them. And so you can update it, and it will instantly update everything in the binder as you've updated it, everything on the shelf as you've updated it. So you can add things to a shelf. You don't have to keep giving out codes. Once students have your shelf, they will be able to access any binder on that shelf. You can change what binders are on that shelf, and you can change what's in the binders. And so it's a very, very flexible option for creating online anthologies. Nope, just this one. Nope, one more. All right, so that is how to live binder. And that's the end of the presentation on creating your own online anthologies. If you want to see more of my events, go to www.angrybunnypublishing.com and then go to the events page. Every Tuesday and Thursday in October, you get access to a free webinar. And if you miss one, you can go back and download the screencasts. I'm Kelly Stair. Thank you very much.